Hi everyone, I'm Colleen. Thanks so much for joining me again for a walk in the woods, I guess. A walk and a chat. Well, thank you so much for the overwhelming response. I'm like thrilled that you guys, I don't know, enjoyed my ramblings and, found some connection in them. And I love hearing your stories in the comments and your reactions. So, can't say I've been this inspired in a little while about something new to start. So, we're going to do it. So, I asked Big Bertha today what I should talk about. And there's going to be pausing on this trail because this is a little bit more populated trail. And it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And so, people are walking with their dads. So for people's privacy and for my own self-consciousness, there's going to be some pausing, I think. So I asked Big Bertha what I should talk about today, and some ideas came to me, but she said, again, just start talking. So here I am, going to just start talking. And I think the topic today is everything is something. But as you can see, it's a much cloudier day, and I think what I'm going to do, what I'm inspired to do today is we're going to start with a walk. So as far as everything is something too, just to start that conversation, you brought up something in the comments, and it's true. There is energy in these videos, and everything is something. You can get the energy of the forest through a video. You can get energy from me through a video. It came up in our some of our videos with Cindy on the I think it was in the Earth's History videos, that love energy can be transmitted, and healing and all kinds of things can be transmitted through video. So we know from the Earth's History, from EH3, that I am from the home where all love energy is stored, and one of my gifts, contribution, whatever, one of my things is that just by connecting with me, not just me, anybody from my home, and really, this is true of anybody, but I think it's just stronger in people who have incarnated from the home where all love energy is stored, that when you connect with us, you get a dose of love energy. So just by watching the video, just by coming on the walk with me, you're going to get a dose of love energy and forest energy. And so I'm going to turn the camera and just start walking up the trail. Also because the first part's a hill, and I don't know if I can walk and talk at the same time without getting out of breath. So we're going to take a little walk and enjoy the scenery and the forest energy. And I will, if it starts raining, I'll film the rest from my balcony, which you guys said you wanted to see my magic balcony. It's not that much. It's not that exciting. But anyway, I was saving that for a time when maybe the weather wasn't conducive to recording outside. So we'll take the walk, and then I'm going to chat a little bit about everything is something and my thoughts on that. Here we go. Ready, Lola? Let's go. Oh, up here. This way. Come on. We're going this way. Come on. Come on. You like this part. We've been up here before. Okay, go. Okay, breathing in the forest energy. Hearing my steps. I do a walking meditation where I pay attention to each of my steps. You might hear me jiggling my keys a little bit because I am heading up into bear country. So sorry for the distraction of the jiggling keys when I'm not talking. That's just to let them know I'm around. See if you get any guidance while we're walking, and just absorb. Let's go this way. Okay, you move that way. Come on, miss. We gotta go back this way. Come on. It's going into a very buggy area, so we're going somewhere different. Just because there's a bit of a swamp over there. There's a lot of mosquitoes today. This way. Fine, you lead. It's starting to rain to a certain extent. As much as I can walk in it, I consider the rain very energy cleansing. I don't know if you can hear the rain. I'll keep my phone going as long as I can. Of course, can't get too wet. Go ahead. Go on up there. Where are you going? Oh, we can't go there. It's not a trail. That's not a path, honey. Come on. That we're not doing. Trail breaking. Okay, I'm going to pause now and find a place to stop and chat for a little bit. So it was lots of mosquitoes up there because, you know, overcast day and a little lower temperature and damp. And I have this amazing gift that my mother and I had in that we don't react to mosquito bites, which is actually a very good trait to have when you live in Northern Ontario. There are lots of mosquitoes and black flies, and I don't react to the bites. Like I might for a second, I'm looking down at my hand because I just got a bite, and I react for just a second or a few minutes. It might itch, and then they just go away. So my mom used to think that mosquitoes didn't bite her, but that's not it, because I've watched them bite me. But for some reason, I am immune to their, whatever it is, like their venom. But still, having them flying all over in my face and getting in my mouth, and you know, the sting of them biting me is not pleasant. So I've come out here to the less maybe less scenic, maybe not actually, now that I look in the shot, part of the path because it's a little more wide open, because I want to talk for a second about everything is something. So that's the title that just Big Birtha just kept saying to me as I was driving to get here, you know. And I'm like, what about everything is something? But two things have come to mind. So one is you guys in the comments were talking about how I find meaning in everything, and like, yeah, I do when I'm on, right? Like not all the time. Obviously, when I'm recording a video or when I'm doing, you know, the videos with Cindy, like I'm in a spiritual moment, so I'm very on and perceptive and open. But as I get older and in the 30-year progression of my spirituality, I have become more and more able to just in my day-to-day life be consciously conscious of signs and guidance. I think it's happening 100% constantly. I think that reminds me of Star Trek and that guy that was in a globe, except that he was trapped there like a snow globe and people were watching them live. Anyway, I think that we're like Angel TV, like they're watching us all the time. And don't worry about weird stuff like times when you don't want them watching you. Apparently that's taken care of. But they're egging us on and cheering us on and giving us guidance, I think, constantly. I think we just miss a lot of it. So yes, everything's a sign, and you can read meaning into all kinds of things, and I enjoy doing that. It gives me it really raises my vibration, and I think that keeping my vibration high is something that I have found to just, it's a key to just having a happy life, but it's also a key to, you know, manifestation of situations or things or whatever that I want. It sends better energy out into the world. It helps people. Anyway, keeping your vibration high is a good thing. So when I am looking at everything as a sign, I think I'm really on the path. So today I'm driving here. I had to go pick up my daughter. She went out last night and she needed me to take her to pick up her car, which, you know, I'm glad she didn't drive, drink and drive. So I had just a really nice little, you know, moment with her in the car, whatever connections you can have when your kid is 25 and on their own. And that really sort of buoyed up my spirits. And then I was driving along, coming to this walk. So I'm, you know, in a good mood, all inspired by your comments and stuff. And I drive by this delivery van. It took me a few minutes to compute this. Like, I drove by it, and then like 2 blocks later, I went, oh my goodness, the brand name on the side of that truck was Dragonfly. So we had an abundance of dragonflies yesterday, and you know, you guys were commenting on your takes on what dragonflies mean. I knew that it was significant. So while I'm driving along, I used Google Voice thing to just ask, what's the spiritual meaning of dragonfly? So I always, when I Google spiritual meaning of, or whatever it is, or dragonfly spiritual meaning, I just go with the first one that comes up. Like, I figure that Spirit's guiding that too. So it said, among other words, transformation, connection, and, you know, connection with the other side. And somebody's coming, so I'm just going to pause for a second. Okay, that's for his privacy and mine. So, drive by the Dragonfly truck. And actually it said Dragonfly Electric Delivery Systems, which I thought was interesting, like electric as in energy delivery. So then connection and transformation and like connection to the other side of awareness. And so the next billboard I drive by says, you know, it said other stuff, but what my eyes fell on was available now. Drive a little bit more, and I'm laughing out loud by now. Drive a little bit more and drive by a store sign, and the store is called This and That Blooms. So, you know, I got that message yesterday, everyone can blossom, and I think something's, and I think you can interpret for yourself what all those signs were, but I was just laughing at how as they just came one after another as I'm driving. Okay, so everything is something. So everything's a sign, and you miss lots of them. And sometimes you don't know what they mean, and whatever, it's fine. But sometimes I think of it later too, what that sign probably meant, or what the guidance was that I was getting, you know. Populated point of the trail right now. Well, speaking of guidance, so this guy comes up behind me. You probably saw him a little bit in the background there. Anyway, a couple people came by, so I let them get ahead of me, you know, like I said, so they're not, for their own privacy, they might not want to be in a YouTube video. And this guy stops to talk. Lola, like, attracts everyone, so I have all these conversations for people that stop to talk to Lola, and talking to the guy, and at the same time, I'm thinking about the video and about what I'm going to talk about next. And he has a hat on, and I kind of move over a little bit just to see like what it says on top of his hat. Can you hear the ravens? Crows, whatever. Ah, they stopped, but they were going in the background. So I lean over to see what his hat says, and it says Core Project. And when I read it, the ravens, crows, I don't really know the anyway. Just started going nuts. Core Project. So I'm gonna change topics to the other thing about everything is something, because I think this is part of the core of why I'm doing this project. Raven's backing me up. So Core Project. I was saying about there being energy in these videos, and there's a little more to that. So you guys want to hear about my struggles? I'll talk about another one of my struggles that probably some of you can identify with. So I've struggled with finding, like, thinking always that I needed a modality, that I needed a, sorry, checking Lola. Come on, let's go. That I needed to be like something, like, you know, a Reiki practitioner, a channeled medium, tarot card reader, you know, all the different things that people do spiritually, and that I wasn't like spiritual enough, even like owning a crystal shop, like whatever it is that lots of you do, I know, and automatic writing and writing books. And I've like, you know, been friends with Cindy for a long time, and she has worked hard at becoming a lot of those things. I mean, I know she already had the gifts, but she had a real drive, for one thing, to channel. And I remember her talking about it long before she was channeling, and then working at it like for years, at learning to flow the energy through her and receiving messages, and then learning the pendulum, and it all just unfolded into what she does today. And I just have never found anything that I am willing to put that kind of time into, or have that kind of time to put in. So for some reason, like, I've had to work and have a very mainstream life, and haven't ever been in a situation where I was confident enough to, you know, quit my job and go learn to do something. And more than that, I just haven't felt driven to, you know, I think about things like, should I go take a Reiki class? And then one comes along and I'm like, no, I don't really want to do that. Should I, you know, I do some tarot cards at home for myself. Should I, you know, dive deeper into that and become a tarot reader? Do I want to do tarot videos? No, I'll just watch, like, you know, I really like Sand Tarot and and Awakening to Spirit. They're both Canadian tarot channels, and I'll just watch them and get messages through them, and for myself, like, I don't want to do that. So, but there's a part of me that's always felt sort of lesser because I don't have a title, you know, tarot reader, whatever. However, while in that spirit, or that whatever, that it's not a quest because I haven't felt strongly enough to quest it. But anyway, while in that sense of inadequacy, I guess, I've always gotten guidance. Just talk, Colleen. Just talk to people. And like both my jobs, that's what I do. I talk. And and there's two people coming with a great big dog that Lola's probably going to bark at. So I will be right back. Okay. All is well with the other dog and Lola. So, in my quest and feelings of inadequacy, I got this guidance, like, just talk, Colleen. And, you know, like I said, my jobs, I know that even when I'm doing my mainstream talking for my jobs, I am connecting with people, and that stuff is happening, like the spreading of energy stuff. And sometimes just something comes up in the conversation, you know, where I know I'm giving them guidance, and it's guided. Like, I've been inspired to say something to them, and I've had people tell me that I changed their life by just saying, like, I don't know, things like, well, the way that I would look at something, or just inspired observations. And you guys, obviously, I'm getting some feedback from you guys that we're liking the talking that I'm doing on these videos. So, but it's been a struggle to be confident in the fact that I can just walk around talking and I'm going to be fulfilling my big destiny purpose. But I think that's the case. And I've had guidance more recently that, you know, now as I've embraced it more, Cindy has channeled some information for me that, like, you know, when we go into when people start having their great awakening, and when we go into the mass awakening and that, like, people are going to need, I'm going to go in here. This is this little, hang on, I'm gonna Lola, don't pull. Hang on. I'm going to turn this little area, like a fire pit, and I just find it inspiring. I did another video from here. Okay. Guidance that that when the mass awakening happens, perhaps I'm going to be helping people by talking. And I always wondered, like, I don't want to. Some of you made some suggestions. Thank you for making suggestions in the videos. Like, I'm pretty good at coming to terms with anything that I think is missing, or that I'm wondering what's going on in my life. And I've explored the idea of doing volunteer work. I mean, I do some volunteer work, but of you know, different starting Zoom groups and support groups and just different things like that to connect with people. And I don't want to do that either. By the way, those of you who ask about maybe a Zoom group, you can check out Cindy's Patreon, right? Like she has these light sharing circles, and one of the platforms that you can do on Patreon, it's only I think a couple bucks a month, and you get a light sharing circle every once in a while. And I've been to those; they're amazing. They're on Zoom, but that's that's just not something I want to do. So, you know, I want to connect with people, but I don't want to be with people. I don't know. And I know that's weird. And so I've kind of come to terms that maybe with this guidance that I'm going to help people, I thought it was going to be later after. Lola, get out of the fire pit. Come on up here. Go down there. That maybe it was going to be later, like after the Mass Awakening, but whatever. I think YouTube might be it. And you're right too in the comments, like not everybody needs to do social media. Just because I'm saying that I'm feeling really drawn to do YouTube videos and that my talking is how I help people, that doesn't mean that that's your truth. Everything is something. Whether you do feel drawn to write your book or take the Reiki training or, you know, start the group or open the practice or whatever it is that you're guided to do, it's your thing. You're being guided. That's what's happening. It's all something. Just walking by people, like I talked in the Out of This World videos about like smiling at someone in the grocery store, right? Having a conversation wherever, whatever, on a walking trail with a guy who's got a hat on that says Core Project. And you have a talk about dog breeds. Like I'm sharing energy with him. Who knows what I said to him that impacted. So whatever you feel drawn to do, which might be nothing, I think that it's all guided. We are like an ecosystem. So I'm sitting here in an ecosystem, right? And there's like everything, you know, trees and flowers and rocks and bugs and worms and birds and animals and like all of it, water and sludge in the water, and everything is part of like the ecosystem that works together to help everything thrive, right? We are an ecosystem with going for the Mass Awakening and this whole Earth project and the mission that we're supposed to be on of finding the light, right? Living our life, doing our thing, experiencing what we're experiencing, which can be good and bad, and always looking toward the light, which I didn't know for years what that meant, but it just means to me, just the statement, this must be happening for a reason, even in something horrible happening that I can't imagine why it's happening for a reason, is looking towards the light. So in this ecosystem, as long as we are, sorry, I'm dragging Lola away from the fire pit again. Come on. Okay, maybe I'll just let you get your paws all black. In this ecosystem that we are all contributing with our energy, with our light, with our missions, with our messages, with you watching this video and, right, just watching the video and liking it or commenting on it, or, I mean, even just viewing it, but the likes like really spur me on, right, to whatever it is that's my mission to do. And then my mission, hopefully maybe some of you will get a message from this video that will spur you on, like, see what I meant by ecosystem? Everything is something. So it didn't rain, so I'm going to do a future video from the Magic Balcony, and I'm going to record on my way out here a little bit of the walk, I think, so you can enjoy some more of that if you want. I don't know if you want to walk anymore with me or if you just want to hang out. Actually, I'll just record here hanging out because there's some bird sounds and stuff. And in case any of you, hey, get out of there, stop eating. In case any of you want that. But otherwise, thanks so much for joining me. And I hope this was helpful, and I will see you soon. Take care. Okay, she wants to go that way. We're going to go that way.